What's happening, podcasters? My name's Sebastian Rusk, and I help marketers and entrepreneurs just like you launch successful podcasts. In this episode, I'm going to show you exactly what it takes to get podcast guests on your show. Did you know that getting strategic podcast guests on your show can be the #1 asset to growing your show? That's right. You want to find people that are smarter than you, cooler than you, have a bigger following than you, and just know more than you. Let's get started. Tip #1 for finding podcast guests for your show. Tap into your network of who you already know. Start scrolling through that cell phone of yours, scrolling through your Facebook friends, the Instagram feed of yours, and start identifying exactly who would be a fit to be on your show. Now, some of these people you may have never talked to before. Some of these people may be people that you follow, but may not follow you back. So it's going to require a little bit more work. But sliding into the DMs and asking a quick question like, are you available for podcast interviews, to your favorite person that you're following, regardless if it's a celebrity or somebody large in the business space, reach out. The worst thing that you're gonna hear is no. I've always found a lot of success by reaching out to people on Twitter. Why? Well, Twitter has eliminated the gatekeeper. So has Instagram's DM feature. Why? Because you can DM, message, private message just about anyone on Twitter and on Instagram, as well as Facebook. But if we're talking about the micro blogs like Twitter and Instagram, where they have direct message options, that's where the really true magic happens pertaining to finding good podcast guests. Secondly, I would create a flyer and post something on Instagram and on LinkedIn and on Facebook that simply says, I'm looking for podcast guests on my show that specialize in fill in the blank. Whatever your specialty is, whatever your podcast is about, those are people that you're looking to strategically identify and get them on your show. Another very smart way to be able to find podcast guests and also be a guest on other people's podcasts, that's a separate video, is to go to LinkedIn and in the search bar, maybe you can use the advanced search option. You can type in podcast guests and see what shows up. It could be someone that's put that in their title. It could be something strategic. You can also search LinkedIn under the search bar under what your specialty is. So let's say you're a physical therapist and you want to type in physical therapist marketing, physical therapist experts. Reach out to those individuals and just ask a simple question. Hey, would you like to be on our show? You'll find that some of the people that you're frequently prospecting aren't as easy to get a hold of. You can't just pick up the phone and call them, even though sending a DM is free and easy to do and you don't have to ask anybody. It's entirely up to the other party whether or not they're going to respond back to you and give you an answer or not. So there's a little bit of work involved with hunting down your ideal strategic guest to be on your show, but my strong recommendation is to always make sure that this individual is cooler than you, smarter than you, has more followers than you, and essentially help take your show to the next level, even if it's just for one episode. Why? Because people like their ego stroked. You're doing that by having that individual on your show. In exchange, they're willing to share the episode, another form of stroking their ego, with their network, saying, hey, the other day I was on that cool guy, Sebastian Rusk's podcast, and I had a great time. Here's the link to be able to listen. So tapping into your own network, searching on LinkedIn and also on Facebook, sliding into the direct messages on Twitter, Instagram. You can also message people's fan page on Facebook. Again, whether or not they're going to respond, who knows? But not reaching out, I can guarantee what that response number is. 0. Close your eyes. What do you see? So how do you find podcast guests for your show? You tap into your network, you search on LinkedIn, you search and contact people that you already follow, regardless of how big you may think they are. You never know if they're going to respond. I could sit here till next week and tell you about the opportunities that I've been able to uncover just by simply reaching out and asking. You know, most Instagram profiles, if they're public figures or they're a brand, have the ability to actually not only DM them, but you can call them and you can email them too. I would utilize each one of these options at least a couple of times until you either don't hear back from someone. A lot of times, if they're really a high profile person and they're really busy, they're gonna give you a yes, but it's gonna take a couple of months in order to get them on your show. Now, I say a couple months, it could be even be a year, but it's well worth the wait. You're getting somebody that you really look up to, are really inspired by, that's cooler than you, smarter than you, and knows way more than you on your podcast. So, you have any questions about getting podcast guests on your show? Feel free to drop a comment below. I answer each and every one of you. It is my distinct pleasure to do so. Maybe there's some ideas for getting podcast guests on your show that I didn't mention in this video. Go ahead and mention those below. If you haven't done so already, please make sure you like this video and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. This way you're gonna get updates every time I drop another awesome video about podcasting. We'll see you next time.